Dr. Colbeck, no more than 5 minutes.
Okay, hello, good morning. My name is Dr. Angie Colbeck, and I'm here today to oppose SB 637 due to adverse health impacts from wireless radiation, including but not limited to cancer and DNA damage. My background is that I practiced as a board-certified pediatrician, and I also studied hospital and molecular epidemiology at U of M School of Public Health. I've been reviewing the studies showing the impacts of wireless radiation on our health, and there are now thousands of studies showing the following adverse health impacts to wireless radiation: cancer, oxidative damage, DNA failure, cardiac arrhythmias, and other effects on the heart muscle, as well as blood pressure and vascular effects. ADHD is skyrocketing, behavioral disorders, and learning difficulties, sleep disturbances and memory loss, changes involving the blood-brain barrier and effects on neuron-firing rates in the EEGs, disrupted immune function and change in stress proteins, reproductive and fertility effects. I encourage you to look at the website bioinitiative.org. These impacts are well documented in over 3,600 papers. In addition, a large $25 million study conducted by the FDA also reveals that wireless radiation causes cancer and DNA damage. With all of this in mind, we should not be pursuing policies that would expose our families, our friends, and our communities to an increase in wireless radiation. 5G technology greatly increases our exposure to wireless radiation. Some analyses of 5G networks have concluded that transmitters will be required every 2 to 10 houses. Ask yourself this: how many people out there would choose to move next to a cell tower emitting wireless radiation if you had a choice? Well, if SB 637 goes through, they will put the transmitters wherever they want, approximately every 2 to 10 houses, and you will have no choice. And the amount of wireless radiation you will be exposed to will be greatly increased. From a medical perspective, this will be disastrous. You may be asking yourself, why isn't the federal government protecting us from this? Unfortunately, it's the FCC that sets what a safe level of radiation exposure is, not the FDA or the CDC. In many cases, the FCC chairman has no health background and has strong ties with the telecom industry, as is the case with this current FCC chair, who is a lawyer for Verizon. They either have jobs with the telecoms before or after they're done being FCC chair, they go ahead and they get their high-paying jobs with the telecoms after. This has led to looking out for the telecom industry, not the health care of our communities. In fact, the allowed level of wireless radiation exposure in the U.S. is substantially higher than is allowed in other countries. Having the FCC chair be in charge of what a safe wireless radiation level is very much like having a tobacco company decide how many packs of cigarettes it's safe to smoke each day. So now you have a choice before you. The data is solid, showing adverse health impacts from wireless radiation. Thousands upon thousands of studies, independent from telecom-funded studies, have been done showing the proof. We can still pursue high tech, but pursue it in a way that will not harm our families, our friends, and our communities. Please vote no on SB 637. Thank you.
Ms. Colbeck, again, your credentials are?
I'm a physician, and I also studied hospital and molecular epidemiology at University of Michigan School of Public Health.
Okay, Representative Riley has a question.
I just had a question about the FDA study. So is this a fairly recent study, and what are the findings from that, and are those findings refuted at all?
Yes. Well, actually, there's 3,600 studies showing the same thing. But in addition to that, they had a large 14-year study, $25 million study, and the NTP study. And within the paper we gave everybody, and as a matter of fact, every Michigan representative and senator has this paper. If you look towards the boxed section, you'll see the findings. It's on page, let's see here. It's on page 10, the findings of these studies, the boxed and directly underneath the box study.
Are
And
those,
this is just a recent, I mean, this is
are those results you can briefly summarize?
Sure. Okay. Well, it causes cancer and DNA damage. That's the final thing. The study confirmed that wireless radiation indeed causes cancer and DNA damage at non-thermal levels, below the FCC safety limits, which deny non-thermal effects. Dr. Ron Melnick, PhD, senior toxicologist and director of special programs in the NIEHS, who led the study until he retired, said, the NTP tested the hypothesis that cell phone radiation could not cause health effects, and that hypothesis has now been disproved. The experiment has been done, and after extensive reviews, the consensus is that there was a carcinogenic effect. In regards to DNA damage, he said that the results of the study should put to the rest the old argument that RF radiation cannot cause DNA damage. The scientist in the press conference in 2016 said that the public must be warned.
And that study is from whom?
This is from the NTP study. It's a large $25 million, 14-year study, extensive federal study.
NTP is what?
NTP, National Toxicology Program, right?
Okay.
But by the FDA, sponsored by and conducted by the FDA.
Okay, thank you.
And the FDA and the EPA and the CDC, those should be the people that are in charge of determining what safe levels we should be exposed to with radiation. It should not be a person that was a lawyer on Verizon's and has no health care. Nothing. They know nothing.
Thank you for your testimony.